Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millicent. Okay, let's go over the check your understanding on page 59. Okay, we have the 2011 roster of the Dallas Cowboys professional football team, including 8 offensive linemen, and here's their weight in pounds. First thing we're going to do is create the 5-number summary. Before we can do this, we have to put these in order. Now I'm going to create a graph. I think I'm going to just do a stem plot. So let's see, 31, 30s, 34s. So I'm going to do my stem like this. 33, 34, I think. So let's see, 310, 307, 345, 324, 305, oops, wrong one, 305, 301, 290, and 307. Okay, let me redo it, make it look pretty. I'm going to put these in order, so 1, 5, 7, 7, that's a 7, 4, and 5. So I can see if I turn on its side from lowest to highest, it's definitely unimodal with a right skew, okay? So the shape is unimodal with a right skew, okay? All right, just to get an idea of the shape. Okay, let's do the 5-number summary. So your 5-number summary consists of a min, your first quartile, your median, your third quartile, and your maximum. Min and max are easy. Min, max. So min is 290, max is 345. Median is the one in the middle. Okay, so I believe our sample size was 8, so I'd have to go 4 in from both ends. So the 4th and the 5th one, 4th and 5th number will be the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to calculate my median, I would take 307. Since I don't have an exact median, I take the 2 that would represent the center and average them. Obviously, that's 307.
Didn't say that even necessary.
I know, just showing the work. Okay, so since I actually didn't have a middle, I'm going to rewrite these now in order so we can see them all stretched, straight out. So 290, 301, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The right in the middle was my median. So since I didn't use either one of those, my median was in between them, I have to find the center of these 4 and the center of these 4 for my Q1 and my Q3. So obviously I have to go in 2 each, so my Q1 is going to be between 301 and 305. So to calculate that, I would take that average, which again, don't think we really need to calculate because that's pretty obvious. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, this is going to be my Q3. Now that I don't know, I'll put that one in the calculator.
It'd be 17, I think.
Thank you. Yes, it is. Thank you, my human calculator. Okay, so there's my 5-number summary. This is all you really need to put for a 5-number summary. It has to go in this order. Min, Q1, median, Q3, and max. You don't have to put these labels. I just will tend to do that just to label stuff, but this is your 5-number summary, okay? So that's number 1. 2, calculate the interquartile range. So the IQR is the interquartile range, which is just the middle 50% of the data. Very easy. IQR is simply Q3 minus Q1. I'm going to move this up a little bit. So let's see, 317 minus 303, our interquartile range is 14. Okay, now let's interpret it. So our interpretation is the range, let me say it first. The range of the middle half of the weights for the Dallas Cowboys 8 offensive linemen in the sample is 14 pounds. So the range of the middle half, or middle 50%, David, are you watching? Of weights.
It's fine.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys, 8, I don't know if that apostrophe is supposed to be there. Offensive linemen LBSs, okay? And again, interpretation is so important. If they ask you to calculate and interpret something, if you just calculate, you will not get full credit. On the AP test, you have to do the interpretation. Okay, so there's our interquartile range and our interpretation. Again, it's just the middle half of the data. Next thing says, determine if there's any outliers. Let me get the outliers up here. Now, since the data was skewed, we are concentrating more on the median for the center and the interquartile range for the spread. However, we're going to calculate outliers the same way no matter whether the data is skewed or symmetrical. So we use the 1.5 IQR rule. So all we do is we take 1.5 IQR. So we're going to take 1.5 times 14. And we're going to do two things with it. We're going to subtract it from Q1 and we're going to add it to Q3. Add it to Q3. And that'll give us an acceptable window of data. Anything inside that window is not an outlier. Anything outside that window is an outlier. So Q1 was what? 303 minus 1.5 times 14. And then Q3 was 317 plus 1.5 times 14. Throw that in the calculator. So this is 282 and this is 338. So this is kind of the acceptable window of data. So if we look back up at, where is it? Our list of data right here, 282, well 282 is going to be out here. There's nothing less than 282, okay? Now 338 is going to be right here. So this falls out of the acceptable range of data. So this is the outlier. Okay, I'm going to write it down here. So 345 pounds, is an outlier. Okay? And, you know, we suspected that because when we look back up here at the shape, this one, 345, was separate from a bulk of the data. So we had our suspicions that this was an outlier. We didn't say it, but anyway, we calculated it. We quantified it. It is indeed an outlier. Okay? Alrighty. Last thing is to draw a box plot of the data. I'm going to get another piece of paper so I can see all this. Okay. Box plot of our data is really just our 5-number summary, but we have to take into account that 345 is an outlier. So we have to note that as an outlier, and that'll be the end of the next data point in will be the end of our box plot. So the first thing we need, what number is this? 4. For our box plot is you know, measurement line. I had to go from 290 to 345. I'm just going to go by tens, just like I did up here. Okay, I didn't have a 350, but whatever. But I need it because I got to go to 345. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is my outlier. My outlier is 345, so I'm going to denote that with a little asterisk. I don't care what you put there. You can put a heart, you can put a dot, I don't care. I'll put a little asterisk, okay? Then let's concentrate on these middle numbers. So the median is 307, so 307 is going to be like right around here. 303 for my Q1 is going to be around here. 317 for my Q3, and this is the box, okay? To go from Q1 to min, I'm just going to put a little line at the min and connect them like that. If there wasn't an outlier, that would be a dash and I would just draw my line out. But that's an outlier. So now I got to come into the next highest data, which is 324, and put my line there and then do my whisker, which they don't really call them that anymore. So there's my lovely box plot. One thing I'm missing is my label. So these are weights. Okay. Now let's look at these two. So that one's done, but let's look at these two. Let's compare the shapes. Now this one, when I turned it sideways, we said it was unimodal and right skewed. I can still see that. There's my peak because there's my median. And I can still see a fast peak and then it's going to drag all the way down. So I can still kind of anticipate that right skew. Okay? So it doesn't matter what kind of form you do your graph, your shape is going to look the same. Okay? All right. I think that's it for that. Check your understanding. See you next time.